Everybody, it's Emily and welcome back to my first ever podcast. Today I will be interviewing an amazing female entrepreneur who is the creator of the world's first self-care app. This was such a pleasure and I really hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started.
So my name's Imani. I just released my own self-care app, the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, titled "Isn't a Trend," and pretty much it's a self-care app for women, featuring affirmations, mantras, articles, podcasts, and just other tools, pretty much to just fuel women's journeys towards unleashing their ultimate selves.
So was this app inspired by the whole self-care threads trend that recently has been rising?
Yeah, so I've actually been a self-care blogger for about years. I had my own platform, also titled "It Isn't a Trend, It's a Lifestyle," and there I wrote my own articles just about the topic of self-care. And then recently I released the app and decided to also title "It Isn't a Trend," just because, like you said, self-care really has just it's been booming recently within the wellness sphere, and I just want users to know that self-care, even though it can be, publicized and spoken about often, it really isn't a trend. It has to be a lifestyle. It has to be something that's, ingrained within yourself and practiced daily.
Yeah, no, and I was going to actually push back on that just a little, which was, so self-care, I personally hadn't really heard of the idea until the thread accounts came up and YouTubers started talking about it more. So what exactly about self-care makes it not a trend? Because there have been other trends like slime where there was an app. I'm just like, what makes it like daily? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it has to be something that has to be, ingrained within yourself. So I know people often, kind of romanticize the idea of, going to the spa and, taking bubble baths and let's do bath bombs. And yeah, that's a component of it, but it has to be more than that, talking to yourself daily and, using kind words and, making your bed sometimes when you really don't feel like it, and just, eating healthy, working out, just taking care of yourself all around versus surface stuff, which I feel like kind of, is a part of the trend aspect of it right now.
Okay, yeah, so I completely agree. I was going through your apps and I was surprised. I thought that at first it was going to be like a thread app kind of thing, but it's got meditation, daily affirmations, stuff like that. So how is this app like personal to you? What in it stemmed from just like your everyday routine?
Yeah, so pretty much before the app, I wake up in the morning and write down a total of 10 affirmations that I want to lead me throughout the day. So a lot of the affirmations that I send out, on the push notifications, as well as within the daily affirmations tab, have been words that I've spoken to myself. And then I feature articles and podcasts, and those are some podcasts that I listen to myself as well. So pretty much anything in the app, I use for my own self-care practices as well. So it's, for me, just, sharing the tools that have helped me, and I just want to share it with my audience.
Okay, cool. So is this app, do you see it one day in the future being something where, like, if somebody who was a subscriber to the app had, like, a self-care idea, that they would be able to post it to the app? Or I know you guys have, like, a connect tab that I couldn't really quite work out. But is that something, could it be like more of a sharing community someday in the future?
Yeah, so we actually do have a chat room on there. I'm still kind of playing around with the bugs on there. But I want that to pretty much be a safe space where people can, share the tools that, they have, that has helped them. Or I also have a personal, or the app has a blog as well. So if you go to our actual website, we're going to start having, our audience contribute articles and just other tools that have helped them. They can post on the blog and then maybe be featured in the app as well.
So it's more of a safe space.
Yeah, that's what I want it to be. Yeah, just a place for women who can come together, share stories, the tools that have helped them, that can help somebody else in the same position as them.
That's a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
So, myself, just wondering, for the marketing side of the app, are you going to go more for self-care bloggers like yourself, or the trendier side of the thread accounts and the YouTubers who just started getting into it? So are you going to be promoting like for more long-term people, or are you also trying to hop on the trend a little as well?
I want it to be, a little bit of everybody. I know I want to start featuring women on there as well. So YouTubers, other bloggers, other, people who have their own platforms such as podcasts, other blogs as well. So I want to, try to feature everyone. It's a safe space for everyone. So nobody's excluded from it at all.
Okay, that sounds really great. Do you yourself, have you yourself ever owned one of the thread accounts? I know that you've been blogging for a pretty long time about self-care, but have you owned or associated with one of the trendy thread accounts?
Like, are you asking which ones do I follow?
Yeah, like
yeah. Let's see. My favorite platform on YouTube, or not YouTube, Instagram right now is probably Black Girl and Ohm. They have articles. They have a podcast as well. So that's something I do have featured on my app as well. Alex L. She's a self-care writer. She's kind of the person who has fueled me into this field. So I have her featured on there as well. She has an Instagram page, a blog, as well as her own podcast as well.
One thing that I have always looked for in an app is like skincare and hair care tips for like my sort of hair.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that's something that you would feature on your app.
Yeah. Like I said, nothing's excluded. Taking care of your hair is definitely part of self-care. It's definitely featuring just different, even like less conventional aspects of self-care. So I wouldn't definitely be against, featuring hair bloggers as well.
Yeah. No, I think that you are at a unique position to influence all kinds of people of all different ages.
Yeah.
To knowledge that they don't essentially have. I never knew how to take care of this until about a year ago.
Yeah, definitely.
So your app has like a meditation part of it. I was just wondering, how does meditation go into your daily regimen?
For me, I'm into yoga. So before I go to bed every night, I practice about 20 to 30 minutes of yoga. And then I usually end my session with like a 5 to 10 minute meditation. And that kind of, lets me travel into bed, and just, it relaxes me. And then also I have an app as well that has maybe like 5-minute meditations. So you can meditate throughout the day as well. So whether you're at work, if you're at school, you're driving in the car, it has different meditations kind of, geared to, where you're at in your day. So you can kind of incorporate it throughout. Yeah.
My absolute favorite feature of your app are the daily affirmations. They always seem to hit like at the exact right time.
Yeah.
So, do you come up with how do you come up with those affirmations? Are they like programmed to a day, or, I'm just like wondering what like the science behind that is.
Yeah. So, the developer I use that, has processed my app, I actually have the affirmations scheduled. So pretty much I do it between 1 to 2 weeks in advance, depending on how busy I am, or, for the past couple of days, because I have been kind of busy, I've kind of been shooting the affirmations out. Once I typed it out, it just came directly to the phones. So it's just, they do have tools to schedule it out in advance, but sometimes I do, sometimes they even make it more personal. Like the one I sent out today was, I switched it up and sent it out in the middle of the day versus morning versus night. And it was just like a reminder, like, hey, there's still a chance for something good to happen to you today. So just be open to receive it. And I was kind of talking to myself as well. So
yeah, the affirmations just like they seem to hit at the exact right moment for the exact right situation.
Yeah.
So as for the app itself, it has a Shopify. So I was wondering how you were planning on growing that store, because I definitely think that self-care is something of the future. It's going to be more integrated into younger people's routines. And I noticed you have like planners and stuff like that. I'm just wondering, how do you plan on growing that to something that they, other than planners and calendars and stuff like that, will use daily, and like kind of like a reminder for them, even if they're like off the phone or something like that?
Yeah. So within the next couple months, I also plan on releasing a meditation journal. So this is going to have journaling prompts taken from the app as well as outside that the reader can go through and kind of, write down their journal, like their their journal entries as well, because I've been into meditation journals for a while, and just having, sometimes it's hard journaling because you sometimes don't know what to say if you're just not getting into it, or sometimes people just aren't writers. So just having a prompt to kind of guide you through your kind of your thought process, and just allowing you to write it out on paper. So that's something that we're going to be releasing within the next couple months as well.
Sounds perfect, honestly. I definitely want to get more into writing myself, but
yeah,
if I have a feeling this app is going to influence a whole generation as the trends have. So I definitely think any step forward to helping them do that daily is a really great step forward.
Yeah.
So, mind exercises, I believe we're on, I'm sorry.
Mindful exercises.
Mindful exercises, we're on the app.
Mm-hmm.
Could you go into further detail as like what those entail?
Yeah, so this kind of ties into meditation as well. And for me, mindfulness is just staying present to what's going on within your head, kind of, silencing the mental chatter that sometimes, bad thoughts in our head that kind of, like fear, and just kind of, steer us away from being our better selves. So on that tab, I have different practices that you can practice, throughout your day that can help silence the mental chatter in your head, which is just sometimes sitting still, taking, 5 deep breaths. And then once you, in, out, once you release that should help calm it down. And then, eventually lead to clearing the mental chatter, and just, staying present to what's going on within yourself and in your head.
Sounds great. So while this is a huge part of self-care, I'm just wondering how like mental health is going to tie into this app, because meditation and this, it sounds like just like a really great way of resetting the mind. And I'm wondering if you plan on having like a separate part to mental health, or is it just all tied in?
Yeah, it's definitely all tied in. Just for me personally, the app really is supposed to definitely tie into mental health and just the wellness spheres in general. Because for me, yoga, meditation has definitely helped with my mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. And just sending out the affirmations is, supposed to send some type of boost of, some type of positivity, be lifting to depression, anxiety, and other mental health aspects as well. So
it's like that reminder that we're always gonna need.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's all of the questions I had about the app, and now is like self-promo hour. If you could just like explain why this app is essential to every girl and woman in everybody's life.
Yeah.
I downloaded it, I fell in love with it, and I just want.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support so much. So pretty much, like the name says, it isn't a trend. Self-care, it needs to be taken away from, being romanticized, and just, trendicized isn't a word, but just being talked about like surface level stuff. We have to take care of our minds, kind of the driving force behind everything we do. You have to take care of yourself, putting yourself first. You need to be prioritized. And then as far as, being a woman, I feel like we need more spaces where we can come together as a community. We need to have more safe spaces where we can come together and share our tools and resources with one another that has helped us, that can, ultimately help somebody else as well. So that's just, for pretty much the app, for me, it's just a platform where I can pour myself into it. Other people can pour themselves into it, and we can just ultimately like grow together.
Yeah, it's like a perfect platform where you're not looking at face-tuned photos or stuff like that. It's just real, raw feelings and helping, like a helping community. And
Definitely. And with the I feel like with the like prevalence of social media today, it has so much effect on our self-esteem, and just taking like using the app and just letting that be like a takeaway. And that's why I chose to release an app as well, because we're on our phones all the time. Technology's become like the driving force behind everything that we've done. So just having a platform where it kind of, just lets us release our raw selves, like you said, just aside from, social media and just sometimes the detriments behind that.
Yeah. Well, this has been fantastic, and it's been a real pleasure talking to you.
Wow.
Definitely go download her app. It's not a trend on Apple. Is it on Google Play yet?
Yeah. Play Store. It isn't a trend. Google Play and Apple. It's free. Yeah, so definitely go download. Thank you so much.
No problem. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Emily. It's been a pleasure.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It was my first and I had so much fun filming it. And if you guys like these, be sure to let me know in the comments or likes, depending on which platform you are on, and I'll do more. I hope you guys took some serious inspiration from this, and stay awesome, influencers. I love you loads. Bye!